ready to go. Now, the situation on Ukraine's borders is changing rapidly. But as we look ahead, there are a couple of things that we can count on. One, this department will continue to provide President Biden with options to defend our national security interest in response to Russian actions. And two, we will stay united with our NATO allies. Earlier this week, I spoke with my Polish counterpart. Yesterday, I spoke with my Romanian counterpart. And this morning, I had two very good conversations with my counterparts in France and Germany. As we've made clear, in addition to the significant economic and diplomatic costs that Russia will incur, a move on Ukraine will accomplish the very thing Russia says it does not want: a NATO alliance strengthened and resolved on its western flank. The United States will contribute to NATO's response forces, and we will coordinate with our NATO allies. We will make sure that they have the capabilities that they need to defend themselves. Article 5 is clear on this point. An attack against one NATO member is an attack against us all. And as President Biden has said, the United States holds this as a sacred obligation. And we will do right by that commitment. And Mr. Putin can do the right thing as well. There's no reason that this situation has to devolve into conflict. He can choose to de-escalate. He can order his troops away. He can choose dialogue and diplomacy. Whatever he decides, the United States will stand with our allies and partners. I want to briefly address two other items before we open it up for questions. First, on Wednesday, I was honored to join the President when he signed an executive order to help us deliver on the promise that all men and women in uniform should be able to serve their country free from fear of violence or harassment. This executive order will improve the military justice system's response to sexual assault, harassment, and related crimes, and I welcome it. And finally, as you know, yesterday I directed changes to the department's civilian harm mitigation and response policy oversight and processes. Within 90 days, we will unveil a plan to specify the range of actions that we'll take on civilian harm mitigation and response, including important steps building on knowledge and best practices and tools for preventing and mitigating and responding to civilian harm. But I also ordered some immediate steps, including the establishment of a Civilian Harm Center of Excellence, reporting to me, that will compel us to learn from our mistakes and to make changes in stride. I know personally how hard we work to avoid civilian harm and to abide by the law of armed conflict. But I've also said that we need to do better, and we will. This is a priority for me, and we will ensure that we are transparent as we continue this important work. Until now, I'll turn it over to